Hello, chemistry families. It's wonderful to spend some time with you today, and I want to give an introduction of myself as well as the chemistry class that your students will be taking this year at TMS. So let's step back to when you possibly took chemistry in high school.
There's antimony, arsenic, aluminum, selenium, and hydrogen and oxygen and nitrogen and rhenium, and nickel, neodymium, neptunium, germanium, and iron, americium, ruthenium, uranium, europium, zirconium, lutetium, vanadium, and lanthanum, and osmium, and astatine, and radium, and gold, protactinium, and indium, and gallium. And I...
Okay, I think you got the gist of that, and hopefully that jogs some memory. I hope good memories of the time you had in chemistry. And this is exactly the periodic table that your students are going to be learning more about this year. All right, let me quickly just introduce myself to you. Here I am with my family. I've been married to my husband for 19 years, and we have 5 children. So it's my 7th year. It's our 7th year at TMS, as well as my 7th year teaching chemistry at TMS. And this is my son Luke, and he is actually in the chemistry class this year, which is bittersweet for me because I started teaching chemistry when he was in 4th grade. So it's fun to have him in the class as well as a lot of his classmates and a few others. We also have my youngest here is Drew. He's been home from China with us for 2 years. He is being homeschooled right now. Everyone else does go to TMS. We have Eliza who's going into 3rd. We have a new upper grammar student of Caroline going into 4th. I have a new dialectic student, 7th grade for Nicholas. Yes, and we love TMS. My husband is actually also on the TMS board. So we love the community here and love homeschooling with TMS. Just background on me with chemistry, I have my bachelor's and master's in biochemistry. So I love teaching chemistry as well as talking about chemistry, and just thrilled to be able to teach again this year. All right, so to get into some nitty-gritty of the class, hopefully this book looks familiar to you. This is the textbook we use through Apologia, obviously need for the class. I also highly recommend the student journal that accompanies the class that the student can bring. Also, so the class is set up that on Mondays we'll lecture normally, and on Thursdays we'll do in-class labs most of the time. So each module or chapter covers about 2 weeks, okay? So for the in-class labs that we'll do, each student will need a lab glassware kit, which I think most of you have received or purchased. They also need a composition notebook just for their pre-labs. The pre-lab will be completed in there as well as the rest of their lab. This notebook needs only to be for chemistry labs, nothing else, okay? As I said, labs are normally done on Thursday. What's nice about the labs is that if you are absent or if we end up having to go virtual, these labs are made to be able to do at home. This is a homeschool chemistry course, so all of the, some of them are a little bit trickier to get, but most of the supplies needed for the labs you can get at the grocery store, at the hardware store. So they are very doable to be done at home. All right, let me go over expectations for the lecture. It is very important that the students read before coming to class, which might be a little bit different for them. Chemistry is pretty complicated, a lot of new vocabulary, a lot of new terms, so it'll help very much that they have heard this before coming into class. It is imperative they keep up. Chemistry extremely builds on each other. So a lot of concepts we've even just talked about this week, we're going to see in May. And I tried to be very clear about that and warn the students about it. So keeping up will help with that. Also, they are to complete the OIOs while they read. They will come to lecture. I will introduce the new material. we'll go through the OYOs together as a class, and then I will answer any questions. It's a great time for questions to clear anything up that might be confusing. Okay, so once a module is completed, two things will happen. I will send the test. After we're done with the module, I will send the test to the observer. They will proctor the test at home. And I believe we do one test per semester in class just to give an experience of a timed test, which I also think is important. But the majority, due to time, will be done at home. Parent will proctor it, sign it. They will turn the test in class. At that time, I will also be looking to see they have their homework done. Now, homework is the OIOs, the study guide questions, and the practice problems, which I have shown the students in the journal what that means. Now, for lab days, the expectations are for a completed pre-lab to be completed before coming into class. I was very clear to the students what is included in the pre-lab. They need to bring on lab school days their lab kit and the composition notebook, and that's all they're allowed to bring into the classroom. No food and drink. I don't want them using their textbooks in case something might spill on it. So these are the two main things they'll bring to class. Then at the end of the lab, they're going to write their observations, write their quick conclusion paragraph, and turn their lab books into me to be graded. Finally, I want to let you know if you need help, some things you can do. Make sure the student is keeping up with the work. As I said before, this builds. So making sure that they're on top of it almost closely, probably doing it every day of the week, that they're home in some form or fashion. Have students contact classmates if they're struggling. I find great resource and helpful students out there that really can help each other, okay? Also, take advantage of class time to ask questions. I know this whole math thing can be hard to do that, but questions are really important. And finally, please Canvas message me, and I'm happy to help give hints, suggestions, clarifications. Obviously, I enjoy this class after teaching it for 6 years and would love to help. So I'm excited for this year. I look forward to getting to know not only you better, but also your student, and have a great year. Thanks.